Hey everyone, I'm a software engineer. I've been working in the industry for the last 8 years doing full stack development, and over the last month and a half, almost 2 months now, I've been streaming my game development learning journey using the Godot open source game engine. So what that basically means is I've been learning Godot, learning game dev, building myself out a playground that I can test different features, different game systems, kind of build any idea that comes in my head and just both get a sense of how to do it and also learn how to do it in kind of a more general way that I can apply to building a game in the future. As I normally do when I start up my streams, I go through a little demo. I'm going to make a expedited demo this time because I want to get right into coding. I don't know how much time I'm going to have today to actually stream. So let's get started. There's main menu. You can load, continue a game. There's a whole save system I've built out. There's a chunking system I've built out. So the further away, just one of the game mechanics, the further away you get from spawn, the stronger enemies get, as well as the more experience you get from those enemies. The whole premise is it's dark, it's nighttime. The only time you can see enemies and other things in the game world is when there's light on it. So you can see that things start to load in and out as you move around. Although this seems to be a pretty quiet seed. There we go, we got our first zombie here. You spawn with some weapons, which will eventually change, but I use this for debugging. As enemies get hit, they turn more and more red to denote how much health they have lost. They have some consumables that they drop, so rifle ammo as well as gold. Gold has no purpose yet because I just haven't built it in yet, but I'm going to add some safe zones where there are NPCs that you should be able to buy things from. But in this stream, what I essentially want to do as we lose the game is make it add some new weapons, stronger weapons, so that as you get further away from spawn, you have a better chance of surviving. Because right now, once you get away from spawn, the zombies start spawning plentifully and are very strong and very fast, and so you actually can't get that far away from spawn without running into some issues staying alive. So I want to maybe add some just stronger weapons, ones that shoot faster, have more bullets in their magazines, etc., etc. In the last stream, I added experience, player experience. When you kill zombies, they drop experience, or the player collects experience, essentially. I added gold as well. And so eventually I want to build out a system where you can have unlockables for your player, both within the save, but maybe also across saves if we decide instead to do more of like a roguelike type system. But yeah, as you can see, we're a few chunks away from spawn here, and the zombies there's a lot of them. And so you can't get too far away without just hitting a wall. And they also just start spawning more and more of them spawn. So it becomes pretty difficult to get away. And currently there's no objective to the game, so there's no reason to go out this far. But there's also no reason to stay close to spawn. So we gotta build some of that out. I'm realizing one of the first things though that I wanted to do when I started this stream was fix the shadows on the zombies. They're a little harsh. I feel like they should fade out, or be a little less solid, a little more transparent. So that's something that I want to just see if I can adjust quickly here. But let's commit the changes I made last time. Added player experience and gold as an item. Great, so I think it's related to the zombie light box interaction. So let's pull up the zombie here. Now we have this light occluder, which is essentially where the shadow is being is what is causing the shadow here. let's just play around with some different things and see what we find. Because I know not that much about the lighting system in Godot, but there's only, you know, one way to find out. Let's see if we can get some adjustments. Okay, so we can change editor things and then get have them hot reloaded in the build. However, I'm not sure how this works. So we're gonna have to do some looking up. What was it called? Light occluder 2D? Okay, occludes light cast by a light 2D casting shadows. Must be provided with an occluder polygon 2D. So maybe we might have to build a custom shader for this. So how to adjust light occluder 2D. All right, light occluder 2D shaders. Interesting. Okay. How to adjust shadow. Enable shadows, add an occluder polygon 2D, adjust the filter, use the filter smooth. Oh, interesting. So is this a... It might be the light 2D itself that I need to adjust, not the... So let's go into the player. So we have the player's point light here. Okay, so I changed the shadow color, but that doesn't seem to have changed anything for the zombie itself. Maybe I need to rebuild for this one. Let's go find another zombie real quick. No, that doesn't seem to have changed anything. Oh, I guess Actually, what we should probably be doing is adjusting the point light, because this is a global. Okay, so there's, okay, add, subtract, mix. We turn, okay, if we turn, oh, there we go. Okay, we turn off shadow, and then that disappears for the zombie. What if we bring the alpha down on the shadow itself? Doesn't seem to do anything, at least. Okay, that's interesting. So that adjusts the spread a little bit. Huh. Makes it a little more blurry as you go out from it. I don't know if that's to what the intent of that is exactly. Because all it does is make it look just blurry on the outside, which isn't what we're looking for here. So I don't think the, oh wait, actually, what is the filter? Maybe you can adjust. Oh, whoa, that's weird. Okay, I don't really understand the point of this filter then. Shadow filter. Percentage closer filtering applies to the shadow map. This is slower compared to hard shadow rendering. Okay, let's turn that back off. Now if I change the color, I assume that. Okay. It's just so harsh. The shadow itself. Oh, whoops. Let's go back. Okay, what is this? Huh. Okay, let's try turning closed off. Just curious here. Doesn't seem to really change anything that I can tell. So I can leave that on. Godot, reduce shadow strength, maybe? It's so dark. I know it's just 3D, but oh, look at that. Someone doing a similar idea to me. How can I make shadows shorter? Okay, this looks interesting. So what is dynamic lighting? It's a 3D graphics technique where a light source lights up objects in the scene. It's dynamic as the lighting effects update in real time as the light source moves around. This is pretty standard stuff in the 3D world and easy to translate into a 2D environment, assuming you can take advantage of shaders. The key is the angle the light hits determines how much the surface lights up. And the key, okay, so I think it probably is related to vectors here. Okay, let me see if on the light occluder here, it looks like I can add a shader. We'll call this zombie shadow shader. Okay, let's open up this shader now in, so zombie shadow shader, we want each of these to be local to scene so that they only load for a specific zombie. Now let's open up the other zombie shader here and essentially take what we're doing in this one and add it here. And then what we'll do is just make redshift 0.5. So hopefully we can see the, oops. That's interesting. Hey, Sleepy. Yeah, I'm just, so I'll boot up the game here. Might see something. Okay, so the shadows of the zombies here, I think, are just way too harsh. And so I'm trying to make them a little softer, and I don't know that there's a way to do it outside of shaders, and so that's kind of what I'm messing with right now. Although that didn't seem to make any difference, so I'm not using any Godot extensions, no. Also, how's the volume between my mic and the music? Is it all right? I wonder if this is changing the color of the this polygon, not the shadow itself. I wonder how I do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to see any change occur here from this zombie shadow shader. Shader's been modified on disk. Why is... Hold on. Maybe it wasn't saving properly? No, not doing anything. Oh, called for every pixel for every light affecting the canvas item. Maybe this is what I want, actually. Uncommon to replace default light processing function with this one. All right, I'm gonna have to look at the documentation for this. I don't think that's actually gonna do anything there. Yeah, you're gonna yell, aren't you? Okay. So let's... Oh, wait, what? Okay, the shaders don't work with the language server protocol like they do with... Okay, so... Let's see... Oops. Go for shader light function. Okay, intro to shaders. Light process. Okay, the light processor runs per pixel 2 and it runs once for every light that affects the object. It does not run if no lights affect the object. It exists as a function called inside the fragment processor and typically operates on the material properties set up inside the fragment function. The light processor works differently in 2D than it does 3D. For a description of how it works in each, see documentation, canvas item shaders, and spatial shaders, respectively. So canvas item shaders are for 2D elements. Canvas item shaders contain less built-in variables and functionality than spatial shaders, but they maintain the same basic structure with vertex fragment and light processor functions. Built-ins, values marked as in are read-only. Values marked out are for optional writing and will not necessarily contain sensible values. Values marked as in-out provide a sensible default value and can optionally be written to. Samplers are not subjects of writing and they are not marked. Global built-ins. Global time since the engine started. Pi constant. Tau constant. Euler's number and a base of the natural logarithm. Okay. Light built-ins. Light processor functions work differently in Godot 4 than they did in Godot 3. All lighting is done during the regular draw pass. In other words, Godot no longer draws the object again for each light. Use render mode unshaded if you do not want the light processor function to run. Use render mode light only if you only want to see the impact of lighting on an object. This can be useful when you only want the object visible where it is covered by light. Oh, that's interesting. I could do everything I'm doing with shaders rather than the way I'm handling it currently. If you define a light function, it will replace the built-in light function even if your light function is empty. Below is an example of a light shader that takes a canvas item's normal map into account. SDF functions, there are a few additional functions implemented to sample an automatically generated sign distance field texture. Okay, let's just give this a run. And oops, and see what it does. Okay, nothing. What if we... Okay, so light, what is light? Why am I not seeing it anywhere here? How is it? Do they not have documentation on this? There it is. Output color for this light. Okay, so light changes the color for the light. Why don't we... Should be a vector 4. Why is this... Is this a vector 3? I don't understand how that's working. Output color for this light. Vector 4. I wish there was any documentation here, but let's make a vector 3 of 1, 1, 1 and see if this just outputs white shadows. Doesn't. Okay, what if instead of all of this, we do the same alpha, but then just 1, 1, 1, which should theoretically be white. No, okay. I don't know how this turned blue. Oh, maybe this fragment is affecting it somehow. No, I'm not seeing any difference there. So maybe this is... Actually, wait. Is this supposed to happen on the... Maybe this is happening on the light itself. Okay, wait. The sign is generated from the light occluder 2D. Nodes present in the scene. Okay, 2D lights just setting up shadows. After enabling the shadow enabled property on a point light 2D or directional light 2D, you will not see any visual difference initially. This is because no nodes in your scene have any occluders yet. So we have occluders. For shadows to appear in the scene, light occluder 2D nodes must be added to the scene. These nodes must also have occluder polygons that are designed to match the sprite's outline, along with our polygon resource. Light occluder 2D nodes have two properties: SDF collision. If enabled, the occluder will be part of a real-time generated sign distance field that can be used in custom shaders. When you're not using custom shaders that read from this SDF, enabling this makes no visual difference and has no performance costs. So this is enabled by default for convenience. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so it is on for the zombie SDF collision. All right. Occluder light mask. This is used in tandem with point light 2D and directional light 2D's shadow item call mask property to control which objects cast shadows for each light. This can be used to prevent specific objects from casting shadows. There are two ways to generate or to create light occluders. Automatically generating a light occluder. Occluders can be created automatically from Sprite 2D nodes by selecting this node, clicking the Sprite 2D menu at the create light occluder 2D sibling. I'm manually drawing a light occluder, not colluder. Color up the shaded areas. By default, shaded areas are fully black, but this can be changed for artistic purposes. Wait, the following properties can be adjusted on 2D lights that have shadows enabled. Color the color of shaded areas. Huh, okay. Maybe it is simpler than I'm expecting. On the point light, let's see, let's go back to the player, open up all of the point lights. Maybe this light color is, well, oh, okay, that. I swear I changed this and it didn't work, so that's confusing. Okay, but it doesn't seem to be changing the alpha at all. I don't understand why. And it's all uniform and it's... I mean, it does actually look like it's fading a little bit as it gets further away, but... Hey, Mikey. This isn't exactly what I'm looking for, so I don't know that I'm gonna be able to make a easy, like, simple, straightforward solution here to what I'm wanting. I mean, really what I'm looking for is just less harsh shadows, which I can get if I just turn the alpha down a bit. But it's only seeming to become so faded. Oh, there, I mean, so I still want like a black color, but I just want the alpha to be, it doesn't seem like the alpha is doing anything. No, the alpha is actually doing stuff, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything when the color is black. Like, it's still just as dark no matter what I do. Why is that happening? Godot, light 2D shadow alpha. Okay, shadow color. Color of shadows cast by the light 2D. It does include alpha. But doesn't work. Huh. Okay, let's just adjust some other things and see if we can get any. So obviously that looks terrible. So we don't want subtract. I mean, mix is the closest thing here. Just doesn't Like the color itself doesn't change. The shadow color. The issue is as we change the alpha to 0, it's like it's overwriting the almost looks like it's doing the negative, like it's lighter here and then it gets darker the further away it goes. Because like the lights aren't that strong, you know, like hold on, like the light isn't strong enough to really have the shadows be so strong this far away. Is the issue that the energy of the lights is just too great? No, that doesn't honestly change the shadow at all. This shadow's just as strong as it is close up as it is far away. So I do wonder if there needs to be a, I mean, it does need to be a shader on it. The question then is, does the shader need to be placed on the light or the occluder? Go shaders for shadow. Whoa, what is this? It's a whole website just for Godot shaders. Interesting. Okay, so this seems to do all of it in fragment, not on light. And is this on the... Trying to figure out if this is on the occluder or the... Okay, so I think we've determined that we don't want that. Let's just try doing what we did here and making the alpha, just turning off the alpha. What are you yelling about? Unknown identifier redshift. Oh. What? Okay, really? Okay, that does nothing. So there's color. Color, they're mixing the color. Maybe it shouldn't be on the point occluder then. But I guess I don't understand why it would be on anything other than that. Be on the light source. Let's see if there's anything about shaders. So setting up shadows. Shadows to appear. I was reading this before. Automatically generating a light occluder. Manually drawing a light occluder. Occluder draw order. Okay, how do you do this? Or is this on by default? Oh, if you don't have normal or specular maps for your sprite. Okay, it's a sprite thing. That's interesting. What does the sprite have to do with... Hey, Sessa, how's it going? I'm not understanding this. So, I'm building more of a game playground where I can test different game systems and features. I can just give you a quick demo if you're interested. But it's like a top-down kind of shooter where the premise is it's nighttime. There's light. The only way you can see things in the space is when there's light, and you can shoot zombies, and there's different items. I've built out an inventory system, built out a chunking system, so it's kind of open world and that you can go as far, northwest, east, south as you want to go. There isn't a ton of objective to the game right now, so that's kind of what I'm trying to build in. But right now I'm trying to learn more about shaders and shadows, because I'm finding the shadows to be pretty harsh at the moment. And so I'd like them to fade out as you get further away from the, blend more into the background. They just, they're single color, and they're, I just don't think they look super great. So trying to figure out if I can fix that, but I'm just reading through documentation at the moment. Okay, Godot. Shadow shader. Can you make a shader for shadows? Hmm. That's not what we're looking for. Oh yeah, all good, no worries. I mean, I'm not making a whole lot of progress with it, unfortunately. I don't think this has anything to do with shadows, though. Wait, multiply shadows cast at this point by this color. Same as vertex, but can be written to alter shadows. Wait a second. Certain nodes display text by default. I don't know if there's a way to write a shader specifically for the shadow. So if I put a shader on the light occluder, I don't think that actually makes sense because the light occluder itself doesn't seem to be the thing that has the concept of a shadow. Like it knows. No, it must be on the light then, actually. I'm realizing because the light occluder doesn't cast the shadow. The shadow's cast by the point light or the light 2D specifically, which means that the shader should be on the player point light or on the circular light source. I mean, specifically related to the point light itself, which means I should try doing this here. It's canvas item material. Wait. What is this? I don't think adjusting this makes any difference. Yeah, that seems to do nothing. So let's instead do new shader material, add a new shader. I'll call it circular light source. It doesn't need to be local to scene. I don't understand how this is going to affect the shadows yet, but we'll give this a try. Okay. Called for every pixel the material is visible on. Called for every pixel for every light affecting the canvas item. Okay, what if I just do this here? Whoops. Ah. Relax. Let's go back. Okay, so hopefully this will affect something. Didn't seem to affect anything. Okay, maybe it's not color then. Let's see, there was this piece of code. So we can try this as well, just see if it does anything for us. Okay, also makes no difference. Maybe if we make it local to scene, I doubt this will change anything. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Okay, what if we just change... essentially what I'm trying to get here is anything that does anything. Like, shader does absolutely nothing. So clearly, this isn't right at all. It doesn't say what the shader should be put on is the problem. Okay, what about setting all of these to 1? Nothing. What about setting all of these to 1? I don't get it. Gotta love when something just doesn't at all do, I mean, even anything that you're hoping that it would. I feel like something's getting adjusted there. Because that looks more white than it has been. That was interesting. I don't think anyone could see that really, but it looked like a different shadow color based on the amount of light there was. But I think that was just a coincidence. All right, well, we're not making a whole lot of progress here, so this might be something I need to do off stream. Go ahead and remove these shaders that I've created. And we can move on to some other stuff. Let's get rid of this shader and also the light sources shader. I think then you're going to yell. Wait, what are you yelling about? No, I think it's good. Okay. Oh wait, I don't think I came into the... I don't think I delete... No, I did delete this shader. Hold up. Can you please get deleted? Failed loading zombie shader. Where's that happening though? Or zombie shadow shader. Material zombie shader. I don't think. Where is this being used? I don't understand. Hey Shadow. Funnily enough, I've spent the last like hour basically looking into shaders for shadows, and because these are just super harsh, I want them to fade out as they extend from the light source, but they're just really dark, and I don't want them to be so dark, but I haven't been able to figure out why, like what to do there. So I'm just gonna move on and work on something else. You haven't missed too much. It's just been a lot of experimentation and documentation reading. Where is this zombie shadow shader being used still? Maybe it's in like the shader editor or something. Oh yeah. How do I delete this? These should all be gone. Okay, now it's gone. Cool. I wouldn't call it fun. It's more annoying than anything. But I knew shaders were going to be their own, you know, beast in themselves, so I'm not surprised. It's not as straightforward as one might hope. Okay, I didn't delete you. I thought I deleted you. Let's get into this. Please delete. Dude, please just, why? Okay, there we go. Now it's gone. Okay. So let's just go and add some more weapons. So we've got our rifle here, and what I need to think about is, like, is rifle a class that we want to build on top of? Like, can there be multiple types of rifles, or is this the only rifle item? This animation code as well. I probably ought to turn into a generic scene. Well, it's just like, it's just preloading, so yeah. I could make a scene for this. Let me do that real quick, just so I don't have to, every time I make a weapon, keep doing the same thing. Because I know this is going to be changed at some point. Because it's not a particularly great animation, but it works for now. So let's, actually, can this be part of... I think this can maybe be part of the... Yeah, let's just come into the just base weapon class. Gonna have a function called handle use weapon animation for now, and just do everything in here. So let's see. Let's preload these. So we just want to pass in the intersection here, which I think is just a dictionary. What are you yelling about? Could not find dictionary. And this is all just adding it through the game manager. So I think that's fine. The position should be that plus the player's position. So I think we need to do game manager dot player dot position plus that. Might need to be global position, but we'll see. And so this should allow us to remove all of this code here, get the intersection from using the weapon, and then just call super.handle use weapon animation, passing in the intersection. And you don't like, it's not found in base ranged weapon. Okay, so I guess then it needs to be it doesn't allow you to like chain up without, so handle use what did I call it? Handle use weapon animation. Also take intersection, which is a dictionary. Turn void, and then we call super.handle use weapon animation with the intersection, and that should hopefully, okay, so we've got this issue again where for whatever reason Godot needs to be quit out of and then started up again. And then it should be happy. So something about calling super functions there, it's just not happy about. So that already exists on the parent class. We don't need it there anyway. Okay, so let's see if the weapon animations work properly. Nope, got an error. Member already exists. I thought I got rid of you. Oh, okay, I need to update this for all of the weapons now. So I think this is the same everywhere. So if we come into weapons, we can go into torch and do this. I believe. Yeah, I think that should be the same. And then, or I could just, if I wanted to test the rifle, just get rid of these. Because this should be accessible from the parent, which is kind of weird. I didn't realize you could do that. Okay, so the splash is working correctly, but the actual base shooting animation is off. Yeah, it's just happening at 0, basically, or close to. So I think the difference here is that instead of player.position, it needs to be player.global position. And this should work. No, it doesn't. Oh, we actually don't even need to add the player's position because we're adding it as a child of the player. So that would be why. Cool. That works as intended. So now we can get rid of all of this extra code in these other weapons. And so if we ever make any changes, oops, to the weapon animations, I mean, we're probably going to have to rip this out anyway because we are going to have different animations for different weapons just inherently. And even within a weapon class, we might also have different ones. So, oops. think that handles it for all of them. So that works, I think. Glass is purple, yellow, diamond. No emoji for that in my Twitch chat here. Or YouTube chat, I should say. Nice. We're about to hit 45, 45, 45 as well. Yeah, that's basically how much I've streamed over the last month. It's about 45 hours, which is a good chunk of time. Okay, so we got that done. Where were we moving with this? Right, we were going to add a new weapon, probably like a machine gun type thing. Oh, this gets into an interesting use case now, or if I want to have weapons where you hold down the mouse button rather than clicking. So that will change some things here. Oh, if it's pressed. Wait, this might actually just work already and I've never tried it before. Hold on. No, it doesn't. Okay. What about not event pressed, but event dot. Wait, event dot pressed. Hold on. Godot for event for holding down mouse button. I guess is action pressed. Oops. Oh, oh, okay, wait, input event mouse button. Let's look up the docs here. Press, true if the mouse button state is pressed, if false mouse button state is released. Theoretically, you would think that this should be triggered every time. Mouse is pressed. Like it should always be triggered, no? Why is there no output here? Why am I not getting output? What's going on? We're at input. Is that not what's calling? Hold on. What is happening here? Is this not being used? It 100% is what's being used. So why is it not outputting anything? Okay, please tell me that this prints stuff out. Where is my output? Okay, there we go. Why was it? That's weird. Okay. So odd. Okay, we're at input a ton, so we don't care about that. Okay, so it does only seem to be triggering once. What about is pressed? Okay, Godot, mouse. What is it? Input event mouse button. Event mouse button. Okay, I have a double click. Okay, true if the mouse button state is pressed and false otherwise. So let me print out okay. Okay, let's say if event button index equals mouse button left, we want to press or print out event.pressed. Please stop doing that. Invalid get index button index on base input event mouse motion. Oh. Because I need to also say event is input event mouse button and event.button index. Okay, so false. Okay, so true. And when I release it, it's false. All right, so now we can add a variable is weapon being triggered, which is a boolean. Set it equal to false. And we'll do this once. We'll say if event dot pressed or self dot is mouse is weapon being triggered, then we want to use our weapon. Otherwise we want to set is weapon being triggered equal to false. And here we want to say is weapon being triggered equal to true, so we can allow for, no, that didn't work. Why didn't that work? Oh, because it isn't getting past this point again. So then we want to say okay, so let's back this up for a second actually. Okay, so if the event is pressed, then we say self dot is weapon being triggered equal to true, but we don't need to use the weapon yet. And then we say actually we can do just else if self dot is weapon being triggered equal, and then also self dot use weapon, otherwise self dot is weapon being triggered equals false. Oh, we're getting some double shots here for some reason. And sometimes also it's taking a long... Oh, it's only being triggered when you move. Oh, because input's not being called. So if you're standing still, that doesn't work. Wow, okay. Interesting. All right, so I guess then because we're handling all of the, like, can the weapon be shot, like the weapon delay stuff within the weapon, we can probably move this to the physics process now. So we can say if self dot is weapon being triggered, then we can say self dot use weapon, and then instead just update that in input, which means we should be able to stand still. Okay, that seems to not be working. I did set this to physics process, right? Yeah. Maybe it's being triggered. Oh, hold on. This isn't like... Weapon.use weapon. What is going on here? I can, like, it's like not lining up anymore with when I'm clicking the button, so I don't love this approach. Is there any way to sync up input with physics process? Probably don't want that to happen, just from a performance perspective. Okay, so when it's pressed, we want, okay, let me try something. So print false, print true. So I want to see, I just want to make sure that it is in fact okay. False doesn't seem to be. Okay, now it's just like randomly shooting. Wow, totally messed that up. Oh, because it, I think actually, we want to say, if basically want to do the same thing here again, except if, not event dot rest, then we set it to false. And don't want to do that there. So let's just see if we can get, hold on. Need to print out false here. I just want to see it going, the state going from true to false. I'm also realizing I have to hop off in just a moment. Okay, so we're seeing both true and false here. When I release, it goes to false. Okay. So then maybe now we can say if self dot is weapon being triggered, self dot use weapon. Why does that keep happening? Okay, that actually seems to be working as intended now. Oh yeah, there we go. That works. So now we can hold down left click. Instead of needing to click every time, which is kind of nice. Cool. Just make sure it works for other weapons too. Oh yeah, the rifle actually shoots really fast. Holy crap. Oh, but now we don't, our dual, we broke the dual inventory somehow. Oh no, we didn't. I'm just dumb. I'm just dumb. Okay. Okay, the rifle's actually insane now because you can hold it down. Okay, so you basically have like a machine gun type thing there. All right, we'll make some adjustments in the next stream. I gotta hop off now. I gotta go to dinner. Thanks for everyone for stopping by. I know it wasn't like the longest session, an hour and a half though, not too bad, but yeah, I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow, but I'll be on, I should be on Monday. Thanks for hopping on, everyone. I appreciate it. If you want to see more of the content, be sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone.